Okay, so why does it put up this flat Earth context thing? Flat Earth model is an archaic conception of Earth's shape as a plane or disk. Excuse me, but this video is about the moon, not about the Earth. Could it be that Google has noticed flat earthers are more up for debating the nature of reality, and all credit to them for that. All credit to them for that, certainly, because this is a video not about the Earth, what the shape of the Earth. Here's a great post from Bill Hesford. No, the implications of the see-through moon. It's the end of the materialist dream. His religion would be over. Hence the nastiness. NASA's early space laws had stars in the moon. Exactly. Bill's bang on the ball here, because this is about materialism. It's about what comes first. It's about whether the material emerges from the mind. We know it does. We know it does. And, well, quantum physics says it does. Quantum physics. The implications of quantum physics, of the double split experiment, Schrodinger's cat, that is, the implications of it destroys the materialist assumption that that materialism is in first cause. Yeah, and consciousness and spirituality is the effect, when it's mind and it's consciousness that's in first cause, and it's the material that's the effect. It's the atomic world that's the effect. Yeah, they've got it the wrong way around. They always get it the wrong way around. Okay, so for the person who clicked down, first of all, is this video. On what basis are you clicking it down? Is it because it's my assertion that the moon is see-through? Perhaps I should have put "is the moon see-through?" ? What is the nature of our reality would have been an even better title ? But you don't know, and I don't know what the moon's made of, because you've not been up there and you've not had a look yourself. You know, you're just relying on figures of authority. These figures of authority that have collected moon rock, allegedly collected moon rock and brought it back to Earth, they're all liars. They're all Freemasons. They're all liars. You know, the moon rock was, well, it included petrified wood. And where would you find petrified wood? Oh, yeah, Antarctica maybe, where you were collecting meteorites, and that's what they gave meteorites, and said, you know, that's what they did. They went off the big expedition before they went to the moon to collect all the meteorites they could from Antarctica and places like that. Obviously got a bit of petrified wood mixed in there, because they gave petrified wood as moon rock to a foreign dignitary, I think it was, by mistake, obviously. Yeah. So, you know, you have no idea whether the moon is made out of cheese. It may well be made out of cheese. It probably isn't, but it could be. I mean, it could be made out of anything. It's just, and it could be, for all you know, it could be a projection. Yeah. I mean, you could just look up one day and a great big human hand rips aside the sky, rips open the sky, yeah, and repositions a couple of things. We just don't know, do we? That's the honest truth. We don't know. I mean, even if an angel has told us, we still don't know. And even if we see it ourselves, we have to question, what exactly are we seeing? We've got to question everything, absolutely everything. Okay, so did I see a see-through moon? Obviously, I could have been mistaken. I mean, I could have been mistaken, and it could have been something else I was seeing. I did quickly analyze the situation and think, oh, can this be something on the surface of the moon? No, because it would illuminate, you know what a twinkling star's like, it would illuminate the surface around it. Could it be something in front of the moon? It definitely looked like I was seeing through the moon, pretty much. It moved actually, and then went up across over there. Okay, so just like that, just like that, just like that. Okay, so about like that. So here's what I think happened. Do I believe at that moment in time, when I could see through the moon, if, say, Patrick Moore was looking at the moon at the exact same time with his telescope, was he seeing the same as me? I don't believe I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. When I think back at it now, I don't believe so. So why was I seeing that? So I thought, well, what was I doing at the time? What was I? And I can remember, I was staring at the moon. Almost, it was like this. You couldn't, it was a crescent moon. It was a crescent moon, and I actually forgot that I shouldn't be able to see through the moon. At the time, I was perhaps a bit sort of daydreaming. I was looking at the moon, and I completely forgot it was a crescent moon. I completely forgot the moon was material. I forgot that I shouldn't be able to see anything through the bit, even though it was black and I couldn't see it. I knew I shouldn't be able to, usually, in a rational, logical state of mind, I know that I shouldn't be able to see through the moon. But because I forgot that it was a material moon, and I thought I should be able to see through it because it's black like the rest of the night sky. I started seeing through it. I believed that I could. For a moment, I expected, not believed, I actually expected. I was looking at the moon and I expected to be able to see through it, and I could see through it. I think that might be what's going on here. These people on YouTube who are desperately trying to find proof because they've seen it with their own eyes and now they're trying to film it with a camera, maybe they'll never be able to do that because it's almost a sort of it's a real experience. It's definitely happening to people. It definitely happened to me. I believe it happened to this guy. He's not lying. I don't think he's lying. I haven't investigated him thoroughly, but hasn't he got a music video and he's just making a random video about why he had this experience? And he's really seriously trying to get some answers. There are no answers. As far as I know, there's no logical answer. There could be they could find an answer, but whenever you bring this up, or whenever someone brings this up, they just get told that they're a bunch of idiots because we live in a material world and it's impossible to see through a solid body. And of course, the astronauts went up there and bounced around, played golf, sang songs, and all that lot. And they never said it was see-through. Although, funnily enough, when one of the astronauts poked his rod through the surface of the moon, he discovered it was made out of paper mache, actually, because it was hollow. He pushed through a couple of inches and then down he went. Because, of course, he's pushing through the stage set. They didn't actually pile in. Yeah, it's probably a couple of inches of dust, of moon dust in the studio there at in Area 51, where they likely filmed all the sort of, certainly filmed Apollo 17 with the cutout roof. And what if what I'm saying here is what if people are seeing this with spiritual eyes? See, the person who thumbed this video down, didn't you realize that that's a possibility? Didn't you consider that that's a possibility? It is a possibility that the moon is see-through, but it's see-through with spiritual eyes. And people who are experiencing this think they're really seeing through the moon. Well, they are seeing through the moon, but they then think they can go out and film it with a camera, and you're never going to get that proof. You're never going to get that proof because it's possibly almost like a vision, and you're seeing it with spiritual eyes. It's like a spiritual experience, which questions our whole nature of reality because it's intended to. Maybe God gave us all this collective experience or this vision because we are people who question the nature of reality, and he's saying, yeah, you're right to do that. You're right to do that, and now look at my word and meditate on what I told you. Because Jesus told us if we believe in things, we can move mountains. If we have faith, we can move mountains. And that leads me to what I've been preparing you for in the last load of videos that I've made, because I keep on subtly trying to remind you that mountains in Scripture is a symbol for powerful government. And what does Jesus say? He says, if you have faith, you can say to this mountain, move, and it shall move. What does that mean symbolically? It's talking about political revolution. It's talking about saying to the Tory government, move, and believe in it, and it will be gone. We'll get rid of it. So I want you to now not just believe, from now on, I want you to expect that we will, in the end, move mountains. We will overthrow evil, powerful governments. We will win. And I want you to be open. You must be open to new experiences and reality, especially with some of the things that I've got to tell you, which I haven't even scratched the surface on yet. I need to prepare you for that. So I need to prepare you by asking you to change from your materialistic, rigid assumptions, which is mental chains, which are mental chains, and which will prevent you from experiencing perhaps the true nature of reality. I want you to be open to the possibility that the spiritual comes first and the material comes as the implications of quantum physics dictate. Okay. And that brings me on to my next point. For those of you who are strictly materialist and experiences must be restricted to, materialistic assumptions. What if the implications of quantum physics are true? Yeah. What if you create, to some extent, your own reality? If you believe and expect that after death nothing will happen, it will just be darkness and blackness and the end, then maybe that's what you'll experience. Why not? Why take that risk? So from now on, what I want you to do, to the person who thumbed this video down, I'm saying this to you, you don't know. You don't know what people are seeing. You don't know what the moon is really made of. You can trust figures of authority, the Russian Space Agency or the Chinese Space Agency, who recently went there and faked the whole thing. Why did they have a big picture, a big computer graphic of the Earth in the background as a big circle? The clouds moved instantly. They congealed within about 2 seconds. I mean, it was just fake. It was completely fake. It was in Mum's, Secret Moon and Mars hoax video. Why they faked that? People say, well, because the Earth's flat. So people say to me, what shape do you think the Earth is? It's a tube. It's obviously a tube. It's a spinning tube. Just don't base a whole religion on that, or you make your faith a shipwreck. Yeah, question the entire nature of reality. What I'm saying to you here is my personal belief that if you absolutely believe, as the ancients did, when the ancients looked at the moon and they didn't have any concept, they didn't have any.
Pretty much everywhere throughout, let's say, for instance, if we should talk politely, like, oh no.
The ancients didn't have any concept of what was going on here, that it was an ellipse. They when they saw a crescent moon, they forgot that it was supposed to be materialistic. They forgot that they weren't supposed to be able to see through it because it was material. And like me, when I was young, and I was looking at it, and I can remember forgetting that the moon was solid, forgetting that I shouldn't be able to see through that bit. Yet I could see through that bit because I believed, not just believed, I expected. A few seconds later, my rational and logical mind kicked in, and I was like, whoa, that's not possible. How am I seeing that? And then I started thinking through scenarios. Okay, maybe am I seeing a plane in front of the moon? Am I seeing, what is it? How would you explain this in the context of the parallelogram that I've grown up with and been taught? I could still see it, so it didn't disappear. When my rational and logical mind kicked in, it didn't disappear. I could still see the star through the moon. But to initially see it and experience it, I absolutely expected and believed it, like the ancients probably did at night time in the desert when they looked at them. If they forgot that they weren't supposed to be able to see through the moon, they could see through the moon. And this is a memory. Some of these images here clearly are a memory of similar experiences that people have had. Don't write off people's experiences like this, and just assume people are lying. Why would he be lying? But there again, I could be wrong, and it could be Has anyone got any good footage from their? I mean, I could be wrong. It could be a physical experience and not a spiritual experience. But I've come to the conclusion that it's probably people are probably seeing this with their spiritual eyes, and it's so real. There's no, you can't tell the difference. They're then going off making YouTube videos and trying to actually film it. Maybe they are filming it. I don't know. I haven't seen anything when I did have a quick look that was as convincing as what I actually saw with my own eyes. And that could be for a reason, because these things are kept from us, or kept from us corporatively, so they do not infringe our free will and moral autonomy. There can be no absolute proof on a corporate level. There can be proof on an individual level, but you have to ask for the Holy Spirit. You have to make a free will commitment. You have to tell God and the angels that you are willing to give up that sanctuary of not knowing. Ignorance is bliss. Some people don't want to know, do they? Some people don't want to prove. You have to actually say, okay, I'm not scared. Prove it to me. Like I've said before, Peter Hitchens, I know, doesn't want to be visited by an angel. He doesn't want any experiences like that. The thought terrifies him. He believes in God, but he doesn't want, if an angel suddenly turned up at the end of his bed, he wouldn't be very happy about it. He'd be like, this is a bit too much. This is a bit too full on, actually. I'm not really, believe it or not, most people are actually like that, I've discovered. So I can think of many stories, and perhaps when you get older, you can look back and think, oh yeah, remember that time when we believed something and it happened. Job says, my worst, what I feared has came upon me. If you don't want ghosts in your life, don't believe in ghosts. Don't expect to see ghosts. If you don't want God in your life, if you don't want eternity, if you don't want to live forever, if you don't want ultimate justice, don't believe in God. Believe in nihilism. And guess what? You'll probably get just what you expect to get. So here's an example. I could think of many, but here's one. So my mum and dad divorce, and my dad goes and lives in a 14th century woodcutter's cottage on the Packington estate in the middle of nowhere. The most isolated cottage you could imagine for the sort of England. And there's loads of stories in the villages that the cottage was haunted. Apparently the last bloke, the story was in the village, the last bloke went crazy. The bloke before that was convinced that Charles I hid all his treasure there when he was fleeing from Packington Hall under alleged tunnels that link the Packington estate to all woodcutters' cottages. Like a mile and a half long tunnels underneath Packington Hall. And he dug up the back garden. He dug up a great big massive load of land trying to find Charles I's treasure, which the villagers told him was buried in that area. Anyway, there's loads of stories that it was haunted. It was haunted by this lady. It was really scary. But I decided when I went there that I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to see any ghosts, thanks. It just wasn't something I was up for. I wasn't tuned into that frequency. I decided to opt out of the option of seeing ghosts. But my girlfriend at the time, I told her the story. She was going to come and stay the night, and I told her the story. It's haunted and all about. And she's fascinated. She's like, "Oh wow, this is like really scary," but she was scared. In a sense, she was scared, but she, at the same time, it's like a roller coaster ride. She was scared, but she wanted to experience it. She perhaps wanted to see, and maybe almost expected to see a ghost. Like I said, I'd never seen a ghost, or anything like that. Although I did one night when the lights were on. It was about 7 o'clock at night, and I was getting ready to go out. and it felt like somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and I stopped and turned around and I said, "Do that again." It never happened again, but never saw a ghost anyway because I wasn't up for it. Maybe if I do believe that if I was really up for it and believed and expected that I'd see a ghost, that I would have probably seen a ghost. Anyway, so she comes over and we're lying in bed. It's pitch black. I don't know what, maybe it's 3 in the morning or something, or probably a bit later. And suddenly, I wake up to screaming. She was screaming and screaming and screaming for about 10 minutes. She's screaming and I can't stop and go, "What's the matter? What's happened? What's up?" And finally, after sort of 10 minutes, she splutters out the word "ghost." and I was like, "Oh God, I thought it was something serious." I rolled over and went back to sleep. Now, the next morning, she explains to me, "Look, it was pitch black. She saw at the end of it, she described what she was wearing." No, I don't believe she imagined it. I do not believe she imagined that. I believe she was up for it. I believe she almost expected to see a ghost and believed she would, and she did. And I'm not going to thumb her video down or call her a liar. She wasn't lying. I don't believe she imagined it. You should really detailed explanation of what she saw. I believe she saw the ghost. She saw the ghost, but I didn't see the ghost. I woke up and everything was pitch black, and I didn't see any ghost ever. Yeah, because I just wasn't in tune. I wasn't on that frequency. I wasn't tuned. I wasn't up for it. I didn't expect to see the ghost. She did, and she saw it. And that's what I'm saying here. There's many examples of this. If you now, most people don't want to see ghosts. They don't want to see demons. They don't want to see, horrible looking space aliens or anything like that, do they? So they don't, because they don't invite that reality into their life. They don't expect to see it. But people that expect it, perhaps they do experience these things, So what I'm saying here to you, materialist atheists, is be very careful what you believe in and what you expect to happen. Because there is more to reality than we have confronted. And there are doors. I expect, as Anaconda, my friend Anaconda Mark Liquor does, he just said to me recently, he said to me, he expects that one day, I don't know if he used the exact word expect, but very similar if he didn't, just a few days ago he said, I expect, we're talking about the nature of reality. What is the truth? Is the earth flat? Is the earth round? Is space real? Is it fake? He said, I expect that I will find out, that I'll be told or find out that it's like Enoch. When Enoch was transferred into heaven, he learnt from God about all the wonders and how reality really was. And that's what he was saying. I think that's what he was saying anyway. And that's what I believe as well. He's expecting God because he wants to know, and I want to know. We really want to. I want to know how everything turns out. If I die before the end of the world, I want to be told by God how everything ends. How it all ends. I want to see it if I can, like the souls under the throne of God in the book of Revelation, who are watching everything, and they're saying, "How long, God, before we are avenged for what happened to us?" Okay, so I also expect that. I expect that I will enter into paradise, and that I will learn and find out all these things because I really want to. I don't believe God owes that to me, but I believe that and expect that, like Enoch and others, that such things will be revealed, which would be wonderful and fantastic. It's really all I'm sort of after, that love, peace, harmony, happiness, and wisdom.
In the stars.